What book should have never been turned into a movie? Percy Jackson. That movie was bad as a fan of the books. But it did introduce me to Alexandra Daddario, so I can't hate it. The Dark Tower was an epic failure. Epic failure. If they did a show with 20 seasons, they'd have to cut a lot of the book out. Aragorn. It's actually Aragon. But this I completely agree. They fucked that movie up so bad it wasn't even funny. Divergent. Yay. I read the first book and thought, oh, this is good. Think I read half the second book. Then I saw a movie and I'm like, oh, this could be good. Nah. It was awful. The worst part was the 18-19-year-old male lead was played by like a 26-year-old guy. The woman though, played by a 17-year-old. That just irks me. If it's a teen part, let a teen play it. Don't try to pass off a fucking 26-year-old as a teenager. Edit. Male lead was probably 29 and female was 22-ish at time of shooting of movie. Don't try to pass off a fucking 26-year-old as a teenager. Every teen drama TV show would like a word with you open mouth smile. 50 Shades of Grey. This shouldn't have been turned into a book either. I don't get all the anger about this. It's a smut book. Nothing more, nothing less. It's akin to arguing about the artistic merits of Backdoor Sluts 9. People have a problem with it because it glorifies abusive behavior in the name of BDS, monsieur. 50 Shades of Grey was originally a Twilight fan fiction. That's it. It's just fan fiction that was edited to be its own book. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, long haul. Pro tip: if Zachary Gordon is too old to play Greg, then don't make any more movies. Greater than Zachary Gordon. Wowza, that's a name I haven't heard in almost a full decade. The Bible is tricky. The Life of Brian captured it fairly well. Percy Jackson. They did not only change completely the ages of the characters, which was the essence of the saga, but also the plot, the looks, the personalities, everything. The lovely bones. Trying to put actual, filmable imagery onto that beautiful story made it just sad and weird. Based on its previous incarnation, Dune. Although I am hoping that the upcoming film somehow does the book justice. I don't even think Dennis can turn it into something quality. It'll make a lot of money and be a blockbuster, but it'll be subpar. Mark my words. Dune is 50% internal monologue. This just doesn't translate well to film or TV. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I agree. I love the books, but the movie tried to cram all the books into one film and changed around the characters for no reason I can see being reasonable. Ender's motherfucking game. The ending in the book was amazing. The ending in the movie was also amazing. In the sense that I was so let down by Harrison Ford in a way I never thought I would be. Ender's Game could never properly translate to a sub-3-hour movie. At a minimum, it's a two-part saga of Battle School and Command School with an HBO miniseries spin-off. For the Peter Valentine Locke Demosthenes story. I think once you have read a book, the movie always sucks in comparison. Not that the movie is bad, but it never lives up to what you have read. That's true in most cases, however I would like to point out the exception. Holes. That movie was just as good as the book. They did such an amazing job capturing the feel and the characters. There are a few exceptions. Even the author of Fight Club admitted the movie was better. The Lord of the Rings trilogy movies definitely did not suck either. The Godfather and Forrest Gump are both far superior to the novels. Gotta agree with The Godfather. In the book there's a large portion taken up just on one of Sonny's side girls getting vagina tightening surgery. Jurassic Park is a good book, but the movie is incredible. Some of the dialogue hasn't aged too well, especially the hacker lingo, but the special effects and set pieces still look incredible to this day. If you tell me the book is better, I won't argue, but the movie is a 10 out of 10 in my book. World War Z honestly would have been more appropriate as a series of short stories all linked together. I don't even know how they say that was based on the book either. Sure, it had zombies, but that's just about all the book and the movie had in common. The movie was fine, they just should have called it something else. Inkheart. It's like they took the novel, burned it, saved a few letters from the scraps to write the title, then wrote their own version of everything. After that, buying the film rights to a popular book, throwing the book in the bin, and slapping the name onto any old film written by the lowest bidding writer and starring some cheaped up newcomer is an unfortunately common strategy. It is the scattergun approach to filmmaking. Pump out enough cheap films, and there's a good chance one of them will accidentally be profitable. While I appreciate this question, many of these answers are only true because the movie was just awfully made. Aragon. Except for the last book, and I have many emotions about the last book in the series. It's an amazing book and the next two are great too, but it was a shitty movie because they did an awful job making the movie. Yeah, this is basically just what movies adapted from books are bad. I think many of these easily had the potential to be a good movie. A Wrinkle in Time. I was excited for that movie. Long story short, I shouldn't have been. There were two valiant but failed efforts to turn A Wrinkle in Time into a movie. I think it's time to give up. The Cat in the Hat. Classic children's book, fuck up movie. Both Pet Sematary movies. The book is so much better it's kinda sad. But the first one gave us Louis, sometimes dead is better. You don't wanna go down that RUHD. The Percy Jackson movies. That was pretty much torture to watch. The Giver. That book is perfection. The movie was trash. The Tale of Despero. Maze Runner. Where the first movie was okay. The second were utter garbage and the third could not save the day. Aragon. Don't think I need to elaborate on this one. The Cat in the Hat. An abomination. Did you know they also did Green Eggs and Ham? But wait, there's more. That's right. It's an entire series. Netflix. The Time Traveler's Wife. Shame on you, Poita. The Lovely Bones. The book is emotional and powerful and the movie was super uncomfortable. Stanley Tucci is pretty amazing in it though. Never hated a villain so much. Fun fact, he had a lot of say in how he would look for the film. And he wanted them to make him look nothing like himself because the character made him so uncomfortable. Mortal Engines. The book was actually decent but the movie was just a mess. I like the movie in a so bad it's good kinda way. It's just so insane it's quite entertaining. 13 Reasons Why. Yes, it's based on a book. The first season was solid. Then Netflix tried to bank on it and made it worse. The whole premise is fucked up though. World War Z. At least not that movie. Should have been a mockumentary. Yes, they did this book so dirty. I was fuming. It was perfectly set up for a mockumentary adaptation. Under the Tuscan Sun was an amazing book full of stories about trying to reno an old house in Italy, while cooking and drinking and trying to fit in with the locals. Lots of great recipes. Hollywood took the title and kept the fact that the book was set in Italy and changed everything else. It was an awful movie and people who haven't read the book probably loved it. That makes it worse for me. Ella Enchanted. Loved the book, hated the movie. Percy Jackson. Terry Pratchett and Douglas Adams, both of their humor is in the literary language they use that you just can't convey on film. Us here Hitchhikers gets away with it a little because it has a convenient narrator, but Terry's is so iconic. The BBC series of Hitchhikers is so much better. The movie was just sludge. Yes, most of the replies are books that got turned into shitty movies even though the stories could easily have been adapted. But Pratchett and Adams are truly unadaptable. Long stories can be condensed or reworked. Abstract stories can be told in abstract ways. But stories that rely so strongly on verbal humor, you've either got to put in some clunky narration, a la Good Omens, shove the narration into characters' mouths whether it fits or not, a la BBC adaptations, or cut the best thing about the books. Can't be done. Percy Jackson books. I am told the movies are very bad and to not watch under any circumstances. Alex Rider. Stormbreaker. What really killed this movie is that, in the books, the spy manual is seen from the realistic point of view. Merciless killers. Heartless slates that used to be human, but are now just slaves for MI6. Oh yeah, and MI6. They only care about getting the job done. Nothing else. But the movie portrays it as an exciting adventure about fun. But the truth is, greater than, no, less than. I don't know if it counts because it was turned into a series, but the Dresden Files series was shit. They changed everything, and it was boring. I've always thought Dresden had the potential to be an amazing TV series. Currently reading the series. I'm at book 4 and I watched about 5 minutes of the first episode and I was like, well, this is shit. In the first 5 minutes they managed to completely change everything. It's pretty amazing, to be honest. Karen is not blonde. Dresden lives in a bright apartment. Bob is a weird white-haired dude. How could they fuck up so bad? Look up the show creator. Oh wait, it's Nicolas Cage's? And the Blue Beetle is a green Jeep. Yes, I was going to say this also. Couldn't bring myself to watch past the first episode. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The Golden Compass. That was such a bad movie. Glad they stopped after one film, monsieur. The newer HBO series is actually decent. It's okay, but I fully expect it to be cancelled after 2 seasons. Dark Tower. Yeah, they really hurt me with this one. Perfume. Story of a murderer. One of the best written books I've ever read, and the movie couldn't have translated it worse. The concept can't be made into film, and it certainly can't be created with the stereotypical Hollywood plot that they tried to shove into that story. It's such a shame because I know so many people who saw that travesty of a film that I now can't convince to read the book. That movie should never have existed. I have only seen the movie and thought it was pretty good. This comment has convinced me to read the book. So you've at least changed the mind of one person. I disagree. One of the main criticisms the movie had when it came out was that it was too similar to the book. I've read the book and watched the movie, and I feel the adaptation is very accurate. Ready Player One was a fantastic book, and the movie just does not do it justice. Now we have to wait for a decent remake. I both read the book and seen the movie. I liked the movie, but I didn't like how it hardly at all stayed true to the book. Yeah, I wouldn't say it should never be a movie, but the film we got, 1, sucked, and 2, didn't follow the book at all. The Bible, The Hobbit, the Rankin-Bass version is a classic though. Beowulf, Hunger Games. Books were amazing, movies were visually pleasing, but omitted way too much. Seriously. I know it's a small thing, but I'm still mad they changed how Katniss got the Mockingjay pin in the first movie. It was so meaningful in the books and they just took that away for no damn reason. I don't think it would have been too hard to keep it true to the books. There's plenty of other stuff, but that's the first thing that comes to mind. The books were okay. I definitely wouldn't call them amazing. The movies were worse than the books and I never even bothered to watch the final 2. The Cirque du Freak movie was awful emo. Movies based on self-help books like He's Just Not That Into You, or What to Expect When You're Expecting. That was a weird trend. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Ender's Game. Nope. Twilight and the 50 Shades films. Aragon skeptical smiley face. Harry Potter. JK, don't downvote me PLZ. I think it could have been done so much better. No effort was made to rework the structure of the YA novel into a movie format. So every time I watch a HP movie I feel like it takes 6 hours but somehow only 20 minutes of plot happens. I agree. What I find especially weird about the Harry Potter movies is that I feel like if you didn't read the books first, it would be really hard to understand the movies. Like the books just have so much intricate plotting and character development and foreshadowing that the movies don't include. Cause obviously, they're kids' movies. I kind of wish I could have the opportunity to watch one of them without having read the book first. to see if I could still understand and enjoy the movie in the same way. I doubt it though, but I still love them. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.